I've personally spent a lot of time around normies, and I've noticed there's a type of reasoning that's very common among the humans. They say things like, oh, it's just a little bad, or oh, it's okay, it's not as bad as XYZ. So, for example, drinking. So a person might say, oh, it's okay to have a drink of alcohol, at the end of the day after I've done my work. Or someone will say, oh, it's okay to smoke some weed after I do my work for the day. Or like, oh, it's might be bad to smoke a little weed, but at least I'm not smoking a lot of weed. Or it's okay, it might be bad to drink a little alcohol, but at least I'm not drinking a lot of alcohol. Or everything is okay in moderation, bro. I've heard that so much, and it's not really true. I mean, it's not necessarily true, at least. So, people will say this type of stuff to justify it. Like, obviously, if you drink enough alcohol, you can just die immediately. And I suppose people are not, giving enough credence to small consequences, especially considering how small consequences over time add up to effectively large consequences. If you're doing something that's slightly bad and you do it enough, or you're doing enough things that are slightly bad and they're convergent, you might as well be doing one bad thing. Like, if you just hypothetically, like, I know this is not realistic, but just hypothetically, imagine a person who is doing everything right in their life and they also do heroin. And then compare that to someone who doesn't do heroin, but they do everything in their life slightly bad. So take the most common dimensions of life, such as diet, exercise, productivity, income, family, things like that. So someone who's slightly bad in all those dimensions is theoretically equivalent to someone who does most things in life perfectly, but then does heroin or methamphetamine or crack, just as a hypothetical scenario for you to imagine, something for you to consider. So, I think a lot of people still have hope of achieving something great in their life, and really, if you want to be great, if you want to achieve greatness, you must be willing to destroy the small evils. You must be willing to defeat small demons as much as you would defeat a great demon. And if there's something that's slightly bad for you, you should be willing to eliminate it, if you really want to be the best, if you really have something great to accomplish. Now, I think a lot of people, they live mediocre lives and they do not explicitly acknowledge that. I think if someone does explicitly acknowledge that they're going to live a mediocre life, then there has to be something sort of transcendent or very humble about doing that. And I think otherwise it's like a very painful revelation. And, I don't claim to be like above some mediocre living. Like, I've spent a lot of time being degenerate before, and, it's hard to know to what extent aging just naturally produces a reduction in degeneracy versus, actual self-willed improvement. But I know there are some older people who are degenerate, or they can easily become more degenerate with age. So you must consider that you, as the individual, have the ability to choose to be less of a degenerate. And if you are concerned about your own degeneracy, your own lack of productivity, your own lack of health, then, you must be willing to sacrifice the small things, such as marijuana, alcohol, caffeine maybe, internet usage, things like that. There's certain types of content on the internet, you know what I'm saying? So, anyway, that's my message, and, we may resume on this topic in the future. In case you like this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Goodbye.